Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hardwood Nation podcast with your boy, CL Anthony, and my main man, Bryce Ward. Bryce, what is up this week?
Not much. I was thinking about waiting for you to start talking for the intro and immediately say something just to mess it up for a second time. But I was like, no, we better get the episode started. No, I'm good. I'm good. Everything's good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. So, as always, we got some shit to get into this week. The last time we convened, we spoke about it was literally minutes after Team USA lost to I believe it was Germany. It was somebody, I don't remember. Lost the chance to medal in the FIBA World Championships. And a few days later, and I'm just gonna say it because this is the way I feel. A few days later, we had NBA attention whore LeBron James say, "Hey, I'm going to be on the next team. And not only am I going to be on the next team, I'm talking to Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, and Draymond Green." Here's my question to you. Just to backtrack a little bit. I hate this cycle that we do with Team USA. It's despicable to me. What do you think about the immediacy of LeBron James coming out and saying that he's going to be on the next team?
I mean, in my eyes, they were just waiting to see if Team USA could win or not. Obviously, they didn't. But I mean, if you look at Team USA's track history or track record in terms of how they handle FIBA, this is pretty much on par with what they've done in the past. We come in, we lose FIBA, and then the stars come back and play in the Olympics, and we do better where we win. So it's really not surprising. I saw an image where it showed the years and the losses, and then the Olympic squad, and it seems like they've done this quite a few times. So I'm not I'm not surprised by this at all. Bam Adebayo should probably be on that team too.
He probably will be, but because he was on the prior team, the last tournament we had, but he didn't speak on this one. So, excuse my throat this morning. So, that God, I almost said something bad. All right, focus, Cam.
Well, I'm gonna leave the podcast right now.
Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, and Kyrie Irving have also mentioned that they would be interested in playing on next year's basketball team. My only issue with this is that internationally, there's no revolving door, team by team, tournament by tournament. You usually have the same guys. They work out their schedule. They're together for 4 to 5 years, sometimes even longer, in these tournaments. So they have a natural-born continuity, a natural-born playmaking style that Team USA tries to scramble and put together within 3 weeks when these tournaments are starting. That's the issue that I have. And I know a few years ago there was a 3-year commitment. I don't know if that's done away or not, because I'm just like, okay. Why are these guys popping up now? When we could have used, I'm not saying we need all of these guys. I'm not saying that, because you have to have a mix of the vets and the youngins. I get that.
Cool.
But I don't know if there's a commitment now to where these guys have to give up 3 of their off seasons anymore. And I think that'd be good to build some continuity versus a 3-week bullshit ass training camp in Vegas. Every other country has this right except for us. Even before the Dream Team in '92, we would send our best college players over. I just think there's, and it wasn't a lot of continuity then, but I just think we have to change this entire system. I really do. If we're going to send NBA players over, they should be committed to go to 2 or 3 tournaments before the Olympics. And that's just the way I feel. I think they can build continuity that way versus, like I said, the 3-week training camp in Vegas a month before the fucking tournament. Doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
What do you?
I agree with you. The problem is if Team USA does that and even has half the players LeBron wants, I think we smash every other country. And I know, um, especially with FIBA World Cup right in our rear view, it seems like maybe a little odd to say that, but I think Team USA goes into it almost as one of the best teams always, anyways. And the only hope the other countries have is if, like this time, there's like ways to exploit the team, kind of. The team was also new in terms of their coaching, in a sense, as well. So I think there was more question marks on this team than usual. I think if you throw some of our NBA stars on the team and give them 3 years of summer continuity, I almost feel like it's look. Let them win the Olympics. It's up to everybody else how much they care about FIBA and these things. If the players don't care about FIBA, they're not going to want to play. And it's us. Like we can come in here and have discussions on it, but I just keep going back to like what Jimmy Butler said. Like I don't give a fuck about FIBA. I'm not going to force these guys to play in something that they don't want to play in. I do agree, though, especially maybe with younger players. Like it's hard for me to say, even if it is a 3-year commitment, LeBron might just retire, anyways. Like maybe with younger players or something like that, I could see a longer commitment, but I almost think it's like a little more on the unfair side. I think these other countries, they have way less of a pool to pull from. And so one of the things they have to lean on is the fact that since they don't have a lot of players, they're always inviting back the same few. So there's a continuity and there's a kind of a more of a camaraderie amongst the teams that are in other countries. So it doesn't like I kind of think they need that for their competitive edge. Us, Team USA, I think if they have that, it's a little more unfair. But I mean, that I don't even care about. I'm just saying, it comes down to whatever reason the United States players really don't seem to care about FIBA. And I mean, if they come back and win gold at the Olympics, everybody forgives them every time. So
And that's the bullshit of it, though.
Nothing's going to change, though, because I think if they implement that 3-year thing, you'll just see quite a few guys not want to be involved at all. I don't know. I agree with you that there should be something in place. I just don't know what exactly that does. And also, I mean, it'd be good for Team USA. I think that hurts the opportunity for some of these other countries to be competitive, which is fine. We can dominate everything. I just I don't see all that happening. Even though maybe there should be something put in place, because like you said, other countries have it. 2-3 years doesn't seem too crazy. I'd be open to that.
No, we've done it before. So the Redeem team, the 2008 team, which was the aftermath of the 2004 team that got trashed, they did that. So those got LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Kobe. Those guys were playing every Sunday. My issue with LeBron isn't that, why weren't you on this last team? That's not my issue. It's just the immediacy of him coming out. Now I want to be on the next team. That's bullshit. So my issue isn't with him not being on this team. He can't play on every team every year because he's a vet. He's done it before. What I'm saying is that the way that the Redeem team was built from 2004 to 2008, it seems like that's been abandoned already. And we need to go back to that system. As far as being unfair to other countries, or I don't care. I don't care because their system actually works. I'm not saying that their system is going to win a gold medal every year, but their system actually works. And the one time that we did it, it worked. And it looks like we've gone away from that system. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, Jason Tatum, where the fuck are you? You're a young guy. You're supposed to be one of the faces of the league. Where the fuck are you? Like, I'm not mad.
Care about FIBA. This is what it comes down to. Grant Hill has to come in there and set a precedent and say, if you're going to come play for the Olympics. You're going to be here for 3 years, basically.
Right,
That's what he
right,
needs to do. Yeah,
right.
I agree. But I'm just saying,
So,
like, the players just do not care.
so
So
they
you
need to
have to
be
make
made.
them.
They need to
Yeah.
be made to care, like you said. And you know, I'm pro player, but with this, I don't give a shit. They need to be made to care, and the way to do that is, and it's gonna be a fight. Don't get me wrong, but the way to do that is to have it in the collective bargaining agreement. Whenever they do the next one, it has to be in there, and it has to be instituted at.
I was
If
going to
you
ask, do you think it went away the first time because of this? Do you think the players' union had something to do with it going away, or a changing of the guard in Team USA, like, Grant
right,
Hill taking over later eventually? Like, what? Why do you think it went away originally?
I don't know. It just seems like it has, and it seems like the rules were lax, and it needs to be put in the in the CBA, and that's just it. They need a 3-year commitment, and that's just it. Because the team that they had, I will still say this: they had a nice squad on the court. They did, but you still can't put a team together in 3 weeks and expect them to win tournaments like this when other teams have been together for years. That's just it's hard.
I
It's
wonder.
hard.
I wonder if Team USA has a totally separate agreement compared to the NBA. Because isn't the CBA with the NBA and their owners?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, it is. But they combine everything else. They can combine the two. So when Team USA originally wanted NBA players, there was a big fight because other people thought that wasn't fair that we sent NBA players over to countries that some of them at that time didn't have professional leagues and stuff like that. So there was a big fight back then about that. But I'm pretty sure both those sides, because with the U.S. Olympic Committee and the NBA, I'm sure both those sides can come together and work shit out. So, but it needs to be constituted. And it's not even about money. It's like sometimes they don't offer money to play on Team USA, but sometimes to get players to care, they'll offer money for certain things. It's not even about that. These players got all the money in the fucking world that they want. It's about being prideful for your country, even when it's not the Olympics. That's what it all comes down to. Anytime we lose a basketball tournament, it's disgusting. It just is. It's our sport. It's disgusting. So,
I know it bothers us. It just doesn't seem to bother the players.
you know, they can fix that. It's just a matter if they got the balls to do it.
Mm-hmm. No,
Jimmy,
I agree. I agree.
I was going to say, Jimmy Butler, I still love you, but I need you to care about this. All right. Moving right along, we have a very small Damian Lillard update, which I know you were sick of that from like after week 2.
And when you mean small, you really do mean small, and that's in comparison to the amount that we've gotten the last couple weeks, which was literally nothing.
Well, it's more traction than we've had from Portland's standpoint before.
Mm-hmm.
So it should have been done I mean, it's still technically the off season, but training camp is going to be starting in about 2.5 weeks. Apparently, well, one, Dame sent out another picture on Instagram and he immediately deleted it, talking about him being on the Heat again.
Yeah.
And secondly, Portland are having talks with other teams to find a third team to facilitate this trade since they're adamant that they don't want Tyler Hero. So they're trying to find a landing spot for Tyler Hero. So it's good that we're finally seeing Portland kind of moving things along now. I still think this thing should have been done months ago. My question for you is, and I've never asked you this before, from an impact standpoint, should Damian Lillard arrive in Miami, how good of a fit do you think it would be?
Probably pretty perfect. I think Dame has a skill set. Unless there's a guy on a team that he's going to that is like has issues with wanting the ball in his hands, then I think Dame can go anywhere. I don't think Miami really has those problems to begin with. So I think he's a pretty good fit. The biggest question will be, will Jimmy Butler long term throughout the season think he's a good fit? Because I think so. But if anybody's going to have a problem with anybody, it's going to be Butler, which I'm not saying is going to happen. I'm just saying he's the guy on the team that would have problems if there were problems. No, I think it's going to be a good fit if he can get there. So we've heard the rumor is that like Portland doesn't want Hero. So what does Portland want more than anything out of the trade? What are they looking for? Because they're not going to get a Jimmy Butler back. They're not going to get a Bam back. Right. They're going to other teams to take Hero or to take money or do whatever. I mean, who are they expecting to get back? Or is it multiple young? Is it the Utah deal where they're trying to get as many young draft picks as they can? And like they did get Markkanen out of the deal, which looks to be like just amazing. But I mean, what's Portland expecting to get from Dame or for Dame?
And that's why this thing is so foolish. One, in the history of the league, with any time a player of Dame's stature is moving, and don't get me wrong, and this is no shot to Dame, don't get me wrong. We've seen Shaquille O'Neal traded, like NBA champion. You get what I'm saying? We saw Moses Malone traded. We've seen players of greater stature than Dame be moved for less than what Portland is asking for. Let's just be real about it. So we know that they're trying to rebuild. They drafted Scoop, which was a good pick, I believe. I had a dream about him the other night, like doing great things in Portland. Remember that. They want young assets, and that's fine. They wanted 3 or 4 first-round draft picks. Miami could give them like 2 or 3, so Miami was trying to find another partner for the 4th one. We get that. Miami doesn't care about draft picks. You can have all the fucking draft picks you want. So, like you said, what the fuck else does Portland want, right? It's foolish that we're at this standoff. Portland just doesn't appreciate the fact that they're being big boyed by Dame and then by Miami. That's just what it comes down to. They even went to the NBA crying. Oh, other teams don't want to trade with us because Dame wants to go to Miami. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. Can you stop this? No, you cannot. Dame has been there long enough to where, and this is not just because I'm a Heat fan. If I was a Magic fan, I would say the same thing. Dame has been in that city long enough to where they should accommodate him on where he wants to go at this point in his career because he's never shortchanged them. He's given everything he's had when he was on the court. They should deliver this to him respectfully. It's stupid.
Well, they are a little. I mean, they're really fighting this tooth and nail so far, but they're not the first team that's had to go through this. That like they're not that special. They're not right. Like they're not bigger than Cleveland. They're not bigger than Denver. They're not bigger than Orlando. I mean, how many teams have legitimately lost their stars over the years, and then you have to go through a rebuild.
Right.
Like to go to the league and be like, Dame's saying this and that, and they, you can go through instance after instance of other players doing this. You just have to rip the Band-Aid off and move forward. That's what they need to do.
That's it.
To me, at this point, it's like he's going to go there one way or another. He's not going to play. Something's going to happen. Just move him there. I see that happening. The Harden and Philly situation seems way more convoluted to me now at this point. If the Dame Miami move is the one that's like everyone's just waiting for the details, but it's gonna happen. But it's just like Portland's been holding it up. Just pull the trigger, get it done, get it over with, so everybody can move on to the next train wreck, which is Philly Harden.
Neither one of those guys need to be in training camp. Now, I'm more fearful of what Harden will do because Harden has shown us in the past that he doesn't give a fuck about creating chaos. We haven't seen that from Dame yet. Outside of once a month, Dame tweets something about the Miami Heat or put something on IG about the Miami Heat. That's all Dame's going to do. Dame's a good guy. That's all he's going to do. James Harden, on the other end, we know is an agent of chaos. He cannot allow to be with the Philadelphia 76ers on media day. He cannot. But there was a report this week that said Dame isn't going to any other training camp but Portland and Miami. So again, they're saying, do not make this trade for him.
And now if he does that, what, he forfeits the money for his contract for so many days or whatever days?
He gets fined. Yeah, he gets
fined a day. Okay.
But I could see him doing that, and he's been such a gentleman in this whole process. Like I said, outside of a couple of IG posts here and there, he's been great about this. Not that James Harden hasn't been great, but James Harden has done some shenanigans to get out of teams. But if Philly lets Harden be on their roster for training for media day, it is going to be an absolute shit show. Okay? And Joel Embiid is going to be in such an awkward situation because everyone's going to ask him about what's going on.
He'll be the next big. Him and Giannis will both leave the same summer or something and just put the league in chaos.
Speaking of Giannis, we'll end it on this. Speaking of Giannis, so there was another interview this week where Giannis talked about his desire to win another championship, but didn't really indicate if it would be in Milwaukee or not. He's flirted with other teams before. I'm not going to make this a Miami Heat podcast, but he's flirted with other teams before. I believe he sees the writing on the wall. He knows that this team can't do anything to get any better. Like I said, they're cash strapped. No one wants to really play for Milwaukee. No one wants to live there. This team that they have is it, and they probably have another 1 year where they're going to be at the top of the East before they start falling off. So Giannis is already laying the groundwork for potentially having an exit from Milwaukee. So if we look at how he's handling it versus how other players have handled it in the past, let's say Anthony Davis, James Harden, or even this current situation with Dame, do you think this is a different way of handling things where you're giving the team a 2-year window to pretty much say, fix this shit or I'm out?
As a Magic fan, yes. I've been through this already. Mm-hmm. The thing that I hated most about the Dwight Howard leaving is because, if I'm being honest with myself, I can't say I blame him for wanting out. Between the way Stan could rub people the wrong way, I'm not even going to get into their relationship. I'm saying Stan got along with some players and some he didn't. Some couldn't take his coaching style, which I completely understand. I get it. What I'm saying is, for the couple years, or for the 2 off seasons where it started to begin questioning to the next one where it was really up in the air, the front office knows the details. The front office knows what's expected of them if they're going to really try to keep Dwight. The fans have no idea. We hear rumors, we hear back and forth, we hear all the right things from the player, even though he might be telling the front office, look, if you don't do this, I'm gone. If we don't have this expectation, I'm gone. But then he comes out to the fans and says, I'm staying, I'm staying, I'm staying. Right. He has to say that. He has to say that. I'm not even faulting him. But if I was given the honest that Giannis has given the Bucks fans, at least it wouldn't be such a, well, what questions. I wouldn't be just in the fog wondering what's going on. I really appreciate that. But no other player's really ever done that. LeBron's bought houses before he's mentioned the people that he's moving. LeBron will have his kid in a whole new school system before he even says he's leaving. So I really appreciate it. Now, we've said before, like it's almost like the retiring thing. It's almost like if you're thinking this already, you might already be gone. But I think these things happen anyways, just behind closed doors. So I appreciate the transparency. I think it's about as people deal with things differently when you ease them into a situation. You drop them into a cold pool, they're gonna freak out. I think this is the best move if he really does leave. This is the best I've seen a superstar prep and leave if he doesn't leave before the time frame that he's given. Now, if he was like, "Oh, I'll be here till the end of my contract," and then he tries to force himself out, then I think that's a little messed up. But no, I think Giannis has honestly had one of the best characters in the league since he's broke into superstardom, and I think this is another example of that. I mean, Milwaukee fans can freak out, but at least they know what's going on. It's going to happen whether they know it or not. So at least they're given the transparency. If he wanted to be the true villain, he'd go to Chicago. We know Milwaukee does not like Chicago.
Yeah, but they're ass though. He has to go somewhere.
I know. Yeah. It's probably what you think if he stays in the East, it's probably the Knicks, right?
It's probably the Knicks, or if he goes out west, it would be the Lakers, because it just makes sense. LeBron would be phasing out. You bring Giannis in, it just makes sense. And the Knicks, as much as I hate the state of New York, as much as I hate the ungodly stupidity of Knicks fans, they have something cooking up there. And Giannis could be, I'm not going to say he's the final piece, because they're a couple of pieces away. They're not quite there yet, but they're a couple of pieces away from finally being back to being a title contender. And he could help. He could help with him going to Chicago. Makes absolutely no sense.
That's why I said if he wanted to be the villain. If he wanted to be the villain.
We're gonna assume that within the next 2 weeks, Miami's gonna have Dame. So that takes Miami out of the equation. But the Knicks, it could be something very interesting.
If you're the Knicks, do you make him your primary target, or or what if you're given the choice between him and Embiid?
So we're not quite there yet, but we might be there in a few months with Embiid.
Dude, I feel like the situation with Harden and Philly, because I don't see them taking a step forward this year, right?
No.
Because of this, they either stay stagnant or they fall back. I don't think Embiid. I don't think he digs that at all, man. I think he's going to be pissed after this season.
We're close. Look, we'll know something around December, January with Joel. We'll know something there, right?
He's got to be the next big. Okay, if Dame leaves, let's just say Giannis doesn't win a championship with Milwaukee. Yeah. There has to be the writing on the wall that these guys are coming up for a move, right? I mean, it's got to be Dame, Giannis, Embiid.
Those are next in line, yeah. And like I said, I'm going to take Dame off the board because I'm pretty sure this thing is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. As far as Giannis, I didn't watch the whole podcast, but I know I saw a breakdown of the podcast. I know he mentioned the loss to Miami in the first round. Again, this is not a Miami podcast. If the Bucks have another early playoff exit next year, I think he forces his way out next year. I'm not saying they're going to lose to Miami. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't care who it's going to be. If they have another early exit, and I mean first round or even second round, I think he forces himself out next summer. I really do. I really believe that. So I don't care if they win 72 games. Well, my bad, 73 games in this next season. If they have another early playoff exit, he's out. He's out. He can't.
I can't blame him.
Yeah,
I can't blame him. Not if you're trying to win championships.
Right. He's definitely out. Embiid, I don't even know where Embiid could fit. Maybe Dallas.
He fits on whatever team strikes out on Giannis. If LA gets Giannis, New York should
New
call
York, yeah.
for Indy. But if New York gets him, he's the perfect fit. He's the perfect style. I mean, the Lakers always want a great big man. Always want a great big man. Yeah.
Here's a way too early prediction, of course. If Embiid wants out, and if he doesn't want to go to the West Coast, you move Jaylen Brown, and because we just know they're not going to move Jason Tatum. We just know that he's sucking off the owner's dick. He's not going anywhere. But you move Jaylen Brown, and you get Joel Embiid in Boston.
Yeah. Because we haven't brought up Boston. We haven't brought up Boston, right, who's going to have an All NBA one trade chip to
right,
move.
Right. That's the move right there. So I would say New York, if they don't get Giannis, would kind of be the favorites for Embiid because he would fit there too. But Boston, like you said, they have that chip. They have it. Which I hope Jaylen Brown understands. That's the only reason he got the contract that he got. I love him to death. That's the only reason he got that contract. They will move him, and yeah, I could see Joel Embiid in Boston. Team him up with Jason Tatum. See what they're both as soft as Charmin toilet tissue, but that's okay. You put them together, you might have something.
I still like that team better with Embiid than I do with Jaylen Brown.
What, Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have absolutely no post game, and even though they have Porzingis now, he's going to be out.
Who's already hurt. Who's already
hurt. Right, he'll be back around December maybe, but they have no post game. They just don't. So if you have your great perimeter play, and we still have to see how they play without Marcus Smart, and I kid you not, I woke up to a report this morning that Malcolm Brogdon is pissed off with him. Because they tried to move him first, and then they couldn't move him because of an injury. So then they moved Marcus Smart. Your next best point guard is Malcolm Brogdon. So now if he's upset, what the fuck are you gonna do? So yeah, Boston has some questions, but I could see Joel Embiid ending up in Boston. I really could, and I think him and Jason Tatum offensively could do some damage. Defensively, not so much. But offensively, they can do some they can do some things. Oh, that's going to be it for this week's episode of the Hardwood Nation podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share our content. Drop comments below. Tell us you love us. Tell us you hate us. Do you think LeBron James is a bitch? Or do you love Joel Embiid? Let us know, and we'll respond.
No on either of those, but the new Magic jerseys are fire. I would be getting one. That's my closing thing.
I forgot about that. Any other thoughts on the Magic jerseys?
They look great. Everybody, even outside of the Magic community, the consensus is they look great. Everybody in the Orlando Magic community is excited for this season for multiple reasons. That's all I'll say. I'll be getting one of those jerseys.
Here's my thoughts on those jerseys because I told you I would have my thoughts on those jerseys. Coming off of the pinstripe jerseys in the Shaq and Penny era, those jerseys that they're re-releasing as the City Edition are the most hideous fucking jerseys I've ever seen in my fucking life. I didn't like them then. I don't like them now. They're hideous. They are.
I didn't like them as much then. I do like them now for the nostalgia effect. They're a little different with the terms of fabric and stuff, so they won't be fitting the players as loosely and heavy as before. Okay. And I was pissed. It's not a City Edition. We're getting those because it's our 35th year, so we're allowed to use our retro jerseys. And I have seen your City Edition jerseys, and they are getting trash because you went from the Vice City Edition, which is arguably one of the coolest jerseys we've ever seen, to what they're putting out this year, and it's you look like a practice jersey. It's the worst jersey I've seen the Heat wear in a long time.
That's fine, because it's not going to change my mind about this Magic jersey being hideous. It's not. I hate it.
You are in the minority, sir, and that's fine. You usually
are. Fine. I hated that fucking those stars, and I hate it.
We're all so excited. I'm going to be getting a Wagner jersey. I got a Banchero last year. I'm getting a Wagner. I can't wait.
I hate it. So, everyone stay safe, and we are out.